might be tried before any other steps are taken. Behaviorists approach such problems from a different perspective, seeing the issue as a need to either start or stop one or more behaviors, which will assist the individual to cope better in a situation in which they find themselves. We work from several assumptions. Assumption number 1. There is no such thing as a random behavior. All behavior is directed at increasing pleasure or ending or avoiding pain. Number 2. All behavior has a frequency, which can usually be counted and recorded to detect changes over time. Assumption number 3. Behavioral methodologies have been highly effective in creating and maintaining changes in behavior if they are skillfully applied. The Litmus Test. Most of my work has been done in schools with special needs students, but the principle applies equally to the work done by most BCBAs, Board Certified Behavior Therapists, or RBTs, Registered Behavior Therapists. If you walk down the halls of an elementary school or into the offices of a therapy provider, you can quite reliably discern which situations are under behavioral control and which ones are not. The noise level is an instant indicator. Whose fault is this? Interestingly enough, if you interview teachers and many therapists and ask them about the number of behavior management courses that were part of their initial or continuing professional development, they typically report that they were never given such a course, or if they were, it was done in passing, not in depth. Just to drive home the point, when I ask them what a variable interval 5-minute scheduled reinforcement is, all I often get is a blank stare and a curious expression on their faces. This is totally unfair to our teachers and therapists. So in their initial professional training, we provide these professionals with few useful tools, and yet expect them to develop and maintain control over one or more exceptional students. The classroom rules. So where do we start? Regardless of whether you are a teacher, a behavior therapist, a homeschooling parent, or a community literacy volunteer, the first place to start is with a clear set of expectations of acceptable versus unacceptable behavior. In my classroom, that was spelled out by 5 rules as follows. Rule number 1, work quickly and quietly. A student cannot be working quietly and be creating a distraction at the same time. Rule number 2, bring all of your materials to class. A student cannot simultaneously have all of the necessary materials and still be missing their homework assignment. Sometimes parents, teachers, and or therapists get trapped by giving attention to the wrong behavior. The child stops working and gazes out the window into space. Mom asks the child to get back to work. The child does so, but a few minutes later is once again distracted and the cycle begins again. The criticism trap works because the child gets attention, albeit for the wrong behavior.